Bildy here, still in Moscow. They gave me a new room. Nice digs. It's a little bigger than the last one. I didn't complain. They just gave it to me. It's nice. I keep looking at this picture that I put on the thumbnail here. This strange goings on in the Donbass at the kindergarten. Oh, incidentally, they're evacuating Donbass right now. The people are sending children and women and elderly to Russia to get away from the what Ukraine's doing to them. They're bombing the hell out of them right now. Well, they're using artillery. They're bombarding the cities and the villages intensely. They've always done it on a very low level because they got away with it. Because the OSCE would, well, like they did in Serbia, they just lie about stuff. We have done much study and determined that somebody shot shells to somebody else over here. Yes, yeah, they're under control of NATO. Anyway, they supposedly left, but then again, I heard that they're investigating this kindergarten bombing. Anyway, I can investigate it just with the picture here. A lot of you might not have the experience that I have. I'm no expert, but I was in Afghanistan for 4 years and I was in Iraq for 2 years, and I've seen lots of buildings that had rockets and missiles go through them. I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like right after it happened because I was involved in some of the recovery and movement and stuff after something got shelled. And it doesn't look like this. I smell a rat. This picture is so ridiculous. I just keep finding things. The more I look at it, more, how the hell? I will draw your attention to, first off, the glass light fixtures that are right above the hole. Yeah, when you have a 90-pound shell, or roughly that, if it was a self-propelled artillery piece, or if it was an artillery piece out of a howitzer type gun, going 2,000 feet per second through a fired brick wall, I don't think those light fixtures would have not gotten something hit them. You're bursting through the wall, and yet you look at this picture, and all the debris just like fell down, straight down, almost like a pole was used to push a hole through the wall. Just doesn't smell right. And then the balls bounced around and landed on top of the rubble, and there's not much dust. Do you know how much dust you make bursting a hole through a wall with something going 2,000 feet per second? There would be dust everywhere, and those bricks wouldn't be in a pile under the hole. They would be scattered a lot better. And they don't show the other side, like where it went all the way through. It's amazing how much stuff. I already did a video on this, on what some of the stuff that happens at high velocity. I've seen some pretty weird stuff, but not that. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It looks staged as hell to me. And then you got to the question of who did it. You know, the U.S. State Department has been saying for weeks, Russia is going to stage false flag operations and fake news claiming that the Donbass people were attacked. Really? They're priming you to not believe your own lying eyes when you start seeing this stuff. But, if you'd been paying attention and you've been looking at alternative media, you would have been seeing it for 8 years. The Ukrainian army supports the private armies, which are Nazis, and I think they even folded some of them into sort of a special, like, National Guard groups, like Azov Battalion and such. They've been bombing kindergartens and schools and residences for 8 years. They've been doing it steadily. Not every day, but nearly every day. And it doesn't get in the news. Because the OSCE says, well, we've determined that somebody shot at somebody else. And yeah, definitely. Somebody shot something. They pay them for that. They get paid a lot. And they lie. They've always lied. They lied in Serbia. They got caught lying in Serbia. There were international bodies that have determined that, what was his name? William Walker. Yeah, he got caught lying about all that stuff. I'll post some links on that. And it wasn't just Serbia. In Syria, they lied about things. They staged, who's they? The U.S. white helmets, U.S.-backed white helmets. Oh, one of my new friends here wrote a book about it. I don't know if you can find this in the U.S. or not. It's pretty thick, and it's facts and testimonies about the white helmets and what they've done. Well, I followed that back when it was happening. They were basically a wing of ISIS, which got $100 million of U.S. money to help them with their hammer campaign. One of the things they got caught doing was they would take children in an area ISIS controlled. They'd take people's kids away and they'd bash them in the head and they'd lay them around in an area, and then the cameras would roll and they act like they were doctors helping them. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens to make propaganda. It's a kind of an ugly, brutal, stupid way of making it. I like to think that the propagandists are a little more humane and, on their toes for doing things more humanely, but it still adds up to the same. It's lies. Whether they pushed a hole in this wall with a with a winch truck or a wrecking ball, or I don't know. At least they didn't kill anybody to make this propaganda. They've killed people to make a lot of propaganda in the past. I could be wrong. Like I said, high velocity things get weird, but that sure doesn't look like it. That doesn't look right to me. I would refer to Mr. Russell Bentley. He is going to release something about 5 hours from now. I got a set reminder on here on his channel. Subscribe to his channel. He's right there. He knows what's going on. He's been there a long time, and he knows how this stuff works. Probably better than I do. I'd be interested to see his take. But this is just my 2 cents. This is fishy. And when you put it all together, where the U.S. is priming the American public to think that if they see any atrocities in Donbass, it must be fake Russian propaganda. It can't be real, because the U.S. is behind all this. The CIA has more control over Ukrainian coup government that's been in there for 8 years, that the U.S. spent $5 billion to destabilize the original government of Ukraine, depose an elected leader, and put their guy in. And they've been looting ever since. So there's so many aspects and so many facets to this. The Biden crime family and probably several other Congress critters have got their fingers in all the industries in Ukraine, and they're pulling everything out. They've been dismantling Ukrainian industries. They've done that a long time ago. That was one of the first things they did, because the EU and the US don't like competition. They're pulling the machinery out of the factories and cutting it up for scrap. They're closing down the factories, and they're screwing down people's pensions. They're screwing up the light bill and gas bill. They're imposing IMF, I think, is getting involved in imposing austerity measures. This is because the Ukrainians were deceived. They're jumping up and down on Biden, wanting to get rid of Yanukovych. True corrupt guy, not great, but they're a lot worse off now than they were. And their new buddies, the U.S., came in and just start looting the place and throwing them under the bus. And, what do you do when that happens? There's a lot of Ukrainians that know what's happening to them, but then there's a lot of shills, too, that are throwing their own people under the bus by lying for a living. You can find all these plucky little Ukrainians that just want to be independent. Independent of what? Doing business with Russia? The Soviet Union built most of those factories and built their infrastructure and gave it to them. They built the ski resorts in the western Ukraine and Carpathian Mountains. Well, that's all being cut down and made into cheap plywood because the U.S. got their guy in charge. I think it's a U.S. citizen that's the governor of that area right now, and they're giving away the store to get a few thou in their pocket. Anyway. Friends like that, and you double down? No. Ukrainian people got to do this themselves. Can you get the U.S. to quit tampering? Not with all that money floating around. And then, of course, there's the military-industrial construct that's the carousel, the money carousel. Oh, we have to defend Ukraine from the evil Russians. So your tax dollars go to billions of dollars of the weapons, which they're now bombarding the Donbass with. And the Donbass people are being evacuated and brought into Russia for refuge. Anyway, I'll post some links to that too, and I've been posting some videos of that. It's really nasty seeing kids loaded up on a bus and took away from their homes. Somebody sent me a video that's happening right now. There's a bunch of like kindergarten age children all lined up to get on a bus, and the guy filming it said, "Are you scared?" Yet. Maybe you know, Americans could take a lesson from that. You know, if you won't repost this stuff, you won't share it, you won't say anything, you won't speak out. Uncle Billy, if I post that, I might get into trouble. Just stop with that. Grow a pair. This is an information war. They're telling you that you can't believe your own lying eyes, and you got to go with the U.S. Narrative on things. And the U.S. is just over there looting and destroying industry and taking natural resources and making people miserable. And you're not getting anything out of it either. You know, send your sons and daughters to back this stuff up. There's nothing for them. They don't even get a place at the table. This is all going into the pockets of global oligarchs. This is all going in the pockets of the people that want to enslave you and screw the lid down on you too. So it comes around, goes around. You might want to start fighting it. It's already happening in the U.S. Anyway, well, that's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and I'm sharing it for your consideration. It's a big hole in this story. Big hole in all these stories. You can think about what you're looking at. People have reaction, and most people don't have a lot of familiarity with rockets going through walls, so they don't know what to expect. But look at the freaking glass light fixtures up above. Look how the bricks just seem to have fallen straight down. Yeah, I don't think so. It's just logic. And use your intuition. Look at this stuff, study it. And then look at the players involved in their past, what they've done. Who's been making fake narratives? Who set up a studio in Bollywood that looked like the some particular square in Egypt and hired actors to make it look like they're having a revolution in Egypt when they weren't? Who had these newsmen coming to you on CNN or whatever? They're supposed to be on the roof in Kuwait, I think it was. And it was a green screen, and they had plastic palms around them, and they were rehearsing it. And that got released, too. One of the guys doing the technical stuff showed you the whole video where they were laughing and joking. Okay, we'll put our helmets on when they cue the bombs. They do this stuff all the time. Local media does it. National media sure does it. They stage events, fake events, in order to get you to act against your own best interest, in order to get you to believe something that will make you compliant, make you go along with whatever they want to do. It happened in Afghanistan, it happened in Iraq, it happened in New York at September 11th, 2001. Anyway, that's enough. Uncle Billy signing out. I'll keep you posted.